Good evening, my fine friends, and welcome to the live stream meditation where we create the light that saves the world. Nice, huh? Always about the magic and the mystery of the star tetrahedron, first formulated right after the Big Bang as the crystalline prism, which we call the Christ form, and created so that power, which is the divine masculine, and then the polar opposite of divine feminine love, could finally be united, because we have to have both positive, negative, masculine, and feminine for creation. It's what creates then form. Of course, the beauty of the star tetrahedron is once it was created, the spinning of it, one triangulation moving in one way and the other triangulation moving in the other way, it then created a vortex, if you will, a black hole, so to speak, in the very middle. And just like a black hole at the very center of our galaxy, the Milky Way, from out of that black hole, source consciousness is arising forth. It then images out that which is the galaxy that is the Milky Way. And so it's really the black hole that is the formulation from the imagination, and then it is the star tetrahedron that manifests it and brings it into formulation. In that formulation, of course, we have been using the star tetrahedron mostly as not only an emanation for ourselves, but equally important as a light vibration that, as it's manifested and created, it creates this living sunlight coming from us, which is exactly what I was saying in the middle. It is the energy that will save the world, in the sense that it doesn't try and change the world, but it's a vibration of the original formulation of the cosmos, the Christ field. And as it emanates from us, it is then able to move in non-resistance through all creation. And as it moves through in non-resistance, it then acknowledges what everything was originally made of, which is simply source energy. Source energy has been covered over with many veils, and those veils are simply learning tools, ways in which we can gather information about the good, the bad, the light, the dark, the yin, the yang, power, manipulation, control, emotions, and love. And so it's simply been part of the evolutionary journey that from perfection, we then moved into what we might perceive as limitation, only to gather information about how the cosmos works. The, of course, purpose of this is so that in now time, which we are part and parcel of, there could be formulated a species that was both masculine and feminine, yin and yang, living within a three-dimensional world, which was developed through the Christ field, and then through the information gathered through many incarnations about manipulation, control, power, love, emotions, feelings, love, sharing. Through all that information, we could then synthesize it back into what is true power. And true power is simply the focusing of attention. What is it that we hold our attention focused upon? It's the way the world works right now. If you give your attention to money and only money, you will probably create money. If you are focused upon worried about money, you will probably then create lack of money. If you're focused upon manipulation and control, you'll create opportunities to manipulate, to control, to gather power. So whatever we focus and hold our attention upon, that's which we create in our reality. And we are now moving to the point in our evolution through the creation of the lower triangulation of the divine feminine, working through emotions, lack of self-love, pity, shame, fear, worry. We've been able to synthesize it back into self-love. And because we have now begun to establish true self-love within, as we then simply hold our attention upon love, it then begins to unify, as we well know, the upper triangulation of divine power and the lower triangulation. Within the moving of that triangulation, the vortex opens, and we can then summon forth from out of the supposed, if you will, black hole within us, creation. And so, in the very first time of the cosmos, creator beings would arise upon the scene. And these creator beings would have free will. And they would have free will because they'd gone through the process of learning about all the veils that Source is able to create through illusion and separation and the whole gamut of three-dimensional reality. But all of it has been simply about gathering information. No error, no wrong, no sin. Simply what we call sin is really missed mark. You didn't really make the mark of learning to love. You didn't really make the mark of learning to use power in authenticity. Not sin, not bad, but simply you missed the mark in order to gather more information about how to be more precise, impeccable, and authentic in another incarnation. This emanation that we have been working with, literally allowing liquid golden light from the star tetrahedron to flow from us, because it is the acknowledgement of the Christ field of energy, and it goes through all the veils of separation, and once again acknowledges that Source is the very essence of all creation. It vibrates it. And as it vibrates, it gives that which is hidden within a veil of separation the feeling deep, deep within that there is rightness, that there is wholeness. It's a feeling. And they give themselves permission at some time, because it's a catalyst of energy, to begin to reawaken through their own self-acknowledgement. So we're not really trying to change them. We're not trying to make things different. We're simply in a reaffirmation of what is truth. Now, the theme of the talk today is switching horses within the middle of the stream. So, well, what does that mean? Well, within this polarization of life within three-dimensionality, the crown chakra at the top of the head is the positive polarity. It's connected to the base of the spine chakra, the negative polarity. And so that creates a magnetic union. Then there is the polarization of the second chakra of a lower emotion and feeling with the fifth chakra of higher creative manifestation. And then there is the third chakra of power, that when we raise up to the heart, power is unified in love. And so then we begin to create this union. But then there's the brow chakra, which is the seat of the soul, which is the soul coming forth as the focusing of light that can begin to create through vision what it is we seek to be, to unfold, and to reveal. And so because our work up till now has been the star tetrahedron more within the heart chakra and the emanation of light, I want to experiment more today with bringing the star tetrahedron strictly into the area of the third eye. And as we begin to see and feel the star tetrahedron simply within the head, upper triangulation moving clockwise, lower triangulation moving counterclockwise, it will open a doorway, but that doorway will be back into the perfection of your first origination from out of Source. And so rather than dropping down at this particular meditation tonight, we're simply going to be holding our star tetrahedron work within the head. Now, what this does, it begins to create a vibrational frequency within the area of the pineal pituitary gland. And as this frequency begins to be enlivened, which is again the open doorway, it begins to create an emanation of a substance that we call Amrit. It's a word from the cosmology of India, meaning sacred substance. And what it does, it literally begins to drip down in and through the body. And so our work up to now has been more, yes, allowing the star tetrahedron to change the frequency, but more it was the gifting to life around us, to the planet. But because there's been such a change going on, I think people need a little bit more of an enlivening within their own physical form, a way to enliven the physical structure by holding attention within the third eye, beginning to enliven the star tetrahedron here, and then seeing and feeling the golden drip of this living substance flowing down in and through the body. And you'll begin to find it's more of a substance that enlivens the physical form within. And so in our meditation practice, I'm going to encourage you from maybe now on to maybe sometimes be up here, and sometimes down the heart. Or even in your meditation, you can simply go back and forth. In my meditation now, I'm spending about 5 minutes here and really enlivening and getting this, again, emanation going. And then I've been dropping down to the heart and then moving more into my star tetrahedron around the body with the open doorway within the heart. Now, when we bring our attention and are simply creating a star tetrahedron within the third eye area, it's not a lesser, if you will, because wherever a star tetrahedron is created, there's the emanation of source energy from within it moving out into the world. And so it's not we're moving into a lesser emanation of light and love. We're just using it in a way that enlivens the physical body first, and then it becomes the emanation of light out into the world. So when I do my star tetrahedron practice within the third eye, I imagine that the star tetrahedron is like a temple. And so I'm sitting within this amazing golden temple. I see it, I imagine it, I feel it. The upper triangulation is the upper area of the temple. The lower triangulation is the floor and the area that is maybe even a sunlit meadow and is really grounded with the earth. And I'm then seeing within the temple, this beautiful golden temple that's gently moving with peace and joy. But then within the walls, the room, it simply begins to gently ooze this golden liquid light. It's really moving from, of course, the pineal pituitary gland, but we're simply tricking ourselves by our imagination to begin to quicken and enliven this area of the brain that's a very important part of creating a new vibrational tone within the physical form. So once again, as we're doing the star tetrahedron, it's not a lesser thing that we're doing. We're simply enlivening and quickening a different area of the body. And as you practice it, just as we practice working with the star tetrahedron within the heart and around the body, you'll find over time it becomes more precise. There's a deeper feeling. One begins to see and visualize the temple within the head more precisely. One begins to get a feeling of this kind of dripping, flowing stream of golden light moving down from the brow chakra down in and through the body. And so it's quite a quickening that begins to take place within the physical form. It's almost as though it becomes like a catalyst to begin to stimulate the body, to allow it to go through its changes, its reawakening into the divine properties that are now seeking to be brought forth in order to hold the magnificence of the star tetrahedron and not destroy, if you will, or even burn up the physical body. So I think you'll find it to be quite an exciting and fun, even dynamic thing that happens within your meditation. It doesn't mean that we don't also in our meditation work with the heart chakra and our breath, because it is our breath work from the heart chakra that as we're feeling this movement of breath moving from outside, from the doorway into the world, it is the feeling that we're summoning source, summoning source. We're not looking for source. This is what so many people upon a spiritual pathway are still involved in. They're looking for source. They're looking for God. rather than the realization as I am the fingers, the hands, the toes, the eyes, the ears of the God I am. And as I'm simply from inside out emanating truth, wisdom, light, love, and joy, I'm gathering information and feeding it back to the greater God that is literally the energy of the cosmos, which then expands and even gives more of a feeling to the divine that is the divine being that ensouls the entire universe. We're creating more information, more wisdom, more acknowledgement of the possibilities, which then allows the universe to continue to expand. So it's a kind of a very exciting time. The other thing that you'll find as you're doing this, that if it begins to be too much tension within the head, you're becoming too maybe focused and too intense, simply go back down to the heart and begin to imagine and feel just the original star tetrahedron. This is kind of an intense, very dynamic meditation that we're going to be doing tonight. So once again, if it gets to be too much or too intense or the head begins to throb at all, simply come back down to the star tetrahedron within the heart and around the body. And then if you would then decide you want to go back up to the head and work with it, keep moving back and forth as you continue to soothe and refine the feeling tone within you. So it's not a pushing at it, it's a gentle, moving, unfolding realization with it. So let's go ahead and do our breath work just to continue to remember and feel that when we are breathing, the mind can't be thinking. And throughout the day, when anything begins to be in our face or feeling out of balance, if we just take a few moments and come back to the breath and breathe deeply, summoning source from inside out, it puts another tone, another frequency of peace within and around. So let's do about 5 minutes of deep breathing, just as we always do. And so by simply closing the eyes, we feel the body relaxing. Where we have our attention, it creates it to be so. I hold my attention upon the body relaxing, letting go of the tension of the day. Feeling the peace and the silence all around. Our breathing is the summoning of source from the open doorway within the heart. And with the deep belly breathing, I see and feel the in-breath is summoning golden, living source energy. With a gentle exhale, I'm allowing, I'm imagining sparkling and effervescent light flowing through the tissues of the body and out into the world. What the mind focuses on becomes. I focus the mind upon the breath arising from the open doorway, becoming sparkling, sunlit peace and joy. And just like the physical sun, an emanation of the Christ field. I can even feel at the top of the head is gently pulling up to elongate the spine creating space. And that space is filled with the open breath of Source arising from the heart. Within the yogic tradition, they often say, body light as cotton fiber, which creates space between cells and tissues to be filled with the breath of spirit arising, becoming sunlight and peace within and all around. And I breathe slowly and deeply. I am the original emanation from the void, spirit flowing forth into dimensional worlds to create light, to reveal God I am. Breath is life, and I breathe slowly and deeply. Body as light as cotton fiber, space between all cells and tissues. I am the light, my body held in molecular form by the great mind I am. And my breath, summoning from the open doorway source, the lightness within the body, space between cells and tissues, allows the light to flow effortlessly out into the world. What my mind focuses upon becomes real. I hold it steady upon the breath arising. Source I am. Liquid golden light all around me. And a couple of more deep, deep summoning of Source. Body as light as cotton fiber. Open space, I am. Breathing light, I am. And then very easily now, feeling the openness, the space within the body, breath calm and quiet, slowly coming back into the now. During your meditation, you can also use that small mantra that yogis often use: body lightness of cotton fiber. It creates a feeling of space and openness within the tissues, within the cells. Now, don't float away. Stay here. So the meditation we're going to be doing tonight, once again, it is the star tetrahedron meditation, but we're going to focus it simply within the area of the third eye. Upper triangulation, divine power; lower triangulation of divine love, creating a temple. And you will then be, as a feeling, sitting within this living temple. You're not outside of it, you're within it. Your consciousness, the doorway, the third eye, is seeing and feeling this living temple of light around you. And as you rest within this golden, sunlit, and even glorious temple, you're going to quietly imagine that from the walls and from the ceiling and from the floor, there's this flow of this liquid golden elixir, Amrit. And as it begins to flow, it then moves and drips down in and through the body. And it creates a sense of gentle movement, gentle peace, a soothing of the cells, the tissues. As you then simply sit within the third eye tonight and become more acquainted with this particular meditation, be gentle, don't force it. If it begins to be too much tension, simply drop back down to the heart. And then when you feel once again quiet and peaceful, you can come back up to the head. So I'll simply once again take you through the guided meditation. So the breath still being calm, quiet, and peaceful. Gently bring your attention to the area of the brow chakra, right between the eyebrows. And you're imagining that you can draw a line straight back, for this is the seat of the soul. The divine being you are has created an outpost of living light. And as you gently hold your attention here, you begin to imagine the star tetrahedron as a living temple. You can imagine and see the upper triangulation gently moving from left to right. The lower triangulation gently moving right to left. And you can see or feel yourself sitting within this living temple of light, the Christ field. And from out of the open doorway, a living substance. It begins to flow from the temple walls, from the floor, a golden living elixir. And as it flows so effortlessly and easily, you can begin to quietly feel it settling down through the interior of the body. You don't really need to follow it through the body. It's intelligent, wise, knows its purpose to transform the physical form and to awaken perfect health and vitality. Let's sit quietly together within the living temple of light, within the area of the third eye, the interior of the mind, brain glowing, secreting this living substance that heals and renews the body. And with the body, the lightness of cotton fiber, it flows in non-resistance through bones, through blood, through organs, through muscle, enlivening and quickening. I will join with you, and we will enliven the living light within the head that nurtures the body temple. And very easily now. Slowly coming back. So you can work with both meditations, the star tetrahedron in the third eye, which is about the formulation of Amrit to really help the body and soothe. And then the regular star tetrahedron, which is about the emanation of sunlight, and it quickens not only the body, but life around us. So you can play with both of them, and even in one meditation, go back and forth, or just try one for the whole meditation. If any of you would like to send me a note and let me know how it's gone, I can talk to that next time we get together. So enjoy and keep practicing that. And thank you for coming to Dance in the Light tonight. Namaste, my friends.